It's been 4 years since the official reveal of Shin Megami Tensei 5, and after years of relative silence on the project, we finally got an information blowout recently and are fast approaching the release date of the game. Aside from my reaction video to the E3 trailer, I haven't shared much of my overall thoughts on SMT5 here in the channel now that we have a lot to go off of and talk about. And that leads us to today's video, where I more or less just want to talk about what we've seen and give my overall thoughts on the project along with some things I'm still worried about. If you're new here, the goal for 2021 is to reach 5,000 subscribers, and with your help, I know we can do it. So be sure to hit subscribe for more awesome content like this and leave a like. It's greatly appreciated. So before we get heavy into SMT5, I want to start by saying that I recently revisited both SMT3 Nocturne and SMT4 in preparation for SMT5, and in doing so, I'm confident in where I not only want the series to go from here, but what aspects from 3 and 4 I think 5 should both follow and disregard. 5 seems to be taking a lot of inspiration from Nocturne in particular, which is a bit of a black sheep in the mainline series and its tone in the world, and I admit I was worried when I initially discovered this. I like Nocturne, but in my opinion the other mainline games are more enjoyable than it, and I'm glad I waited a bit to make this video because one of my biggest fears was that 5's world was going to be empty and devoid of human characters, and just life in general like Nocturne, but the recent story trailers show that not only are we getting a diverse cast, they may play a more in-depth role than ever before, if all the cutscenes we've seen snippets of are any indication. Nocturne felt like a lonely adventure through a desolate world, but the recent SMT5 trailer seems to heavily imply we'll be joined by a cast of friends with different ideologies like the other mainline games. Another lonely adventure by ourselves was my biggest fear before SMT5, but it seems we're going to be in good hands in that regard. And because I haven't outright said it yet, in general everything we've seen from SMT5 looks good. Like really good. The return to 3D with modern technology makes the game look gorgeous and more animated like no SMT game before it. The UI is clean, the art direction of our main character and the new demons all look amazing, and these samples of the OST we've gotten all sound on par with 4's stellar soundtrack. In short, on the surface, it looks like everything I personally wanted for the next step in the Shin Megami Tensei series. Now, I touched on what aspects of Nocturne I didn't want carrying over, but if we could have that feeling of desperation and isolation Nocturne had, but without sacrificing side characters and human interaction to do it, I think it would serve as a great tribute to Nocturne and what it tried to do, while staying true to the inhabited worlds of the other games. And honestly, so far I feel we may be getting that, as every trailer for SMT5 has shown how we're suddenly taken from our ordinary mundane lives and thrust into a foreign world where everything wants to kill us. The newest trailer even has one of the supporting characters say that the demons of Dot are out for our souls. Now with SMT4, the main change I wanted going forward was the return of the defense stat. This may sound trivial to some of you if you didn't play it, but SMT4 removed the defense stat, making damage pretty astronomical for both sides regardless of what point you were in the game. Couple this with the game's smirk system that made things even more imbalanced, and fights were less strategic and oftentimes more high damage slugfests. But SMT5 has a vitality stat again, and buffs have also been reworked to only apply to one ally at a time like in the Persona series. Some may not like this, but in my opinion it's a welcome change to introduce some challenge back into the game. With all that being said, SMT4 felt like a proper return to form for the series' cyberpunk roots after Nocturne, and it handled not only its themes well, but it was in my opinion a masterpiece in setting its tone not only with its numerous areas and locales, but with music that fit every scenario flawlessly, and not only properly conveyed the emotions of its inhabitants, but even dropped hints about things that lay underneath the surface, like the corruption of the Eastern Kingdom of Mikado. I really hope SMT5 digs deep into those cyberpunk roots that helped popularize the series in the first place, and uses the music as a great storytelling device like its predecessor. Alice has done a good job of giving us enough bits and pieces of story and previews to speculate on events, but not enough to give away what we're really going to be getting ourselves into with SMT5, and I like that. I want to go into this game and be enthralled and shocked at events like I was playing other games in the series for the first time. I just want to stress one more time how good everything in Shin Megami Tensei 5 looks and how fascinated I am by everything in the world we've been shown. Our main character looks amazing, and it seems he emotes more than past protagonists ever did. So when it comes time to make those hard and lasting decisions, I hope we see that reflected in his body language and face. The locales and set pieces we've seen look fascinating and unique, like a burning bamboo forest, a modern day classroom that's been overrun by crystal, an abandoned highway with the stone face of a Loa demon jutting out the side of the wall, a cavernous outlook where minor demons seem to be worshipping an Apsaurus. Everything looks intriguing, and I cannot wait to get lost in this game and meet all these characters and learn their ideologies and pick a side of my own. I truly believe Shin Megami Tensei 5 is in the proper position to be the most successful game in the series to date, with the recent interest the series has gotten due to the explosion of popularity in Persona, and Atlus promoting the game heavily, even securing a spot in Nintendo's big E3 Direct. It's such a unique line of games that handle themes and subject matter no other series of JRPGs do in the modern day, and as a longtime fan I love nothing more than for it to finally take off in popularity. If only we can see the release of SMT games more often than we have lately. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me to the end of this one. I appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts on SMT 5 down in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe and leave a like. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you next time.